Most people think growth is about becoming more confident, more powerful, more successful. But what if I told you real transformation doesn't come from adding anything at all? What if the life you want is hidden behind parts of you that need to die? Right now, there are things inside you, habits, beliefs, even parts of your identity, that are silently destroying your potential. And here's the question: what if the reason you feel stuck isn't because you're not enough, but because you haven't let go of what no longer belongs to you? In this video, you'll discover the 5 things that must die if you truly want to unlock your higher vibration. You are not who you think you are, and that's the most uncomfortable truth you'll ever face. From the moment you were born, a version of you was slowly constructed, layer by layer. Your parents told you who to be, society rewarded certain behaviors, painful experiences forced you to adapt, and without realizing it, you created a personality designed not to express your truth, but to survive. Carl Jung called this the persona, a mask you wear to be accepted, respected, and understood. But here's the danger: the longer you wear the mask, the more you forget who you are beneath it. You start believing the performance is your identity. You act confident, but inside you feel uncertain. You act strong, but inside you're seeking approval. You act like you have it all figured out, but deep down you feel lost. And here's the question you need to ask yourself: if you stripped away expectations, approval, and fear, who would you really be? Most people avoid this question their entire lives, because facing it means confronting the gap between who you are and who you've been pretending to be. This is where transformation begins, not by adding new traits, but by destroying illusions. The false identity must die. But understand this: it doesn't die peacefully. When you start letting go of the persona, you will feel resistance. You may feel lost, confused, even empty. The roles you once played, the nice guy, the strong one, the people pleaser, will begin to collapse. And in that collapse, it will feel like you're losing yourself. But in reality, you're finally meeting yourself. Because beneath the mask is something far more powerful: your authentic nature, the part of you that doesn't need validation, the part of you that doesn't perform, the part of you that simply is. Jung believed this process is the beginning of individuation, the journey toward becoming whole. But most people never reach it because they are too attached to who they think they are. So here's another question for you: are you willing to lose the identity you've built to discover the person you were meant to become? Because until that false version of you dies, your higher self will never be born. Most people don't live their lives, they perform them. Every decision, every action, every word is subtly influenced by one invisible force: the need to be approved, accepted, and validated by others. You don't post what you truly feel, you post what will be liked. You don't say what you truly think, you say what will be accepted. You don't live freely, you live carefully. And over time, this need becomes an addiction. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He believed that as long as your sense of worth is tied to the outside world, you remain psychologically dependent, controlled not by force, but by perception. Because when you seek validation, you give others power over your identity. Think about it. A compliment can lift your mood. A criticism can ruin your entire day. Being ignored can make you question your value. That means your emotional state is no longer yours. It belongs to whoever is watching you. So here's the question you need to face. Are you living your life, or are you living for their approval? This is where most people get trapped. They build a version of themselves designed to be liked, not respected. Accepted, not authentic. But here's the truth: validation feels good in the moment, but it weakens you in the long run. It makes you predictable, it makes you easy to control, and worst of all, it disconnects you from your real self. Because the more you chase approval, the further you move away from who you truly are. To unlock your higher vibration, this pattern must die. You must become comfortable being misunderstood. You must be willing to be disliked. You must learn to stand alone in your truth. And this is not easy. When you stop seeking validation, people will notice. Some will question you. Some will distance themselves because they were used to a version of you that was easier to control. But this is the price of freedom, because the moment you no longer need approval, something shifts inside you. You stop performing, you stop chasing, you stop explaining, and you start becoming. So ask yourself one more thing. If nobody could see your life, would you still live it the same way? Because the answer to that question reveals everything. And the moment external validation dies, your real power begins to rise. Your emotions are not your enemy, but your lack of control over them is. Most people move through life in a constant state of reaction. Someone disrespects them, they react instantly. Someone ignores them, they feel insecure. Someone succeeds, they feel envy. It happens so fast, they don't even realize it. And that's the danger. Because when you react without awareness, you are no longer in control of your life. Your emotions are. Carl Jung believed that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That sudden anger, that wave of jealousy, that feeling of insecurity, it's not random. It's coming from deep within you. Your shadow, your unresolved patterns, your hidden fears. But instead of observing it, you become it. You don't watch the anger, you become angry. You don't notice the insecurity, you identify with it. You don't question the emotion, you obey it. And in that moment, you lose power. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. How many of your decisions are truly yours? And how many are just emotional reactions you never questioned? This is where transformation begins, because higher consciousness is not about eliminating emotions, it's about mastering them. When emotional reactivity dies, awareness is born. Instead of reacting instantly, you pause. Instead of exploding, you observe. Instead of taking things personally, you understand the deeper cause, and that pause is power. Because in that small gap between stimulus and response, you reclaim control over yourself. But let's be honest, this is not easy. Your mind is wired for reaction. It wants to defend, attack, escape. It wants immediate release. Holding back feels unnatural. Silence feels uncomfortable. Control feels like suppression. But it's not suppression, it's discipline. It's the ability to feel everything without letting it control you. And when you start practicing this, something strange happens. Situations that once triggered you lose their power. People who once controlled your emotions become irrelevant. Problems that once overwhelmed you become manageable. Because you are no longer reacting blindly, you are responding consciously. This is what separates powerful individuals from everyone else. They don't have fewer emotions, they have more control. They can feel anger without expressing it. They can feel pressure without breaking. They can feel fear without stopping, and that control creates a presence that others can feel. Come grounded, unshakable. But here's where it goes deeper. Every emotional reaction is a signal, a message from your unconscious. Anger might reveal insecurity, jealousy might reveal desire, fear might reveal limitation. If you react instantly, you miss the message. But if you observe, you learn, and that learning transforms you. So instead of asking, "Why am I feeling this?" ask, "What is this trying to show me?" That shift alone will change everything. Because now, emotions are no longer controlling you, they are guiding you. Let me ask you something. What if the people who trigger you the most are actually revealing the parts of yourself you refuse to face? That's shadow work, and most people avoid it. They blame others. They justify their reactions. They stay unconscious. But if you're serious about growth, you go inward. You take responsibility. You watch yourself, your thoughts, your reactions, your patterns. And slowly you start to detach. You realize you are not your emotions. You are the awareness behind them. And in that realization, everything changes. Because once emotional reactivity dies, no one can control you anymore. No insult can shake you. No situation can overwhelm you. No person can manipulate you. You become still but powerful. Calm but dangerous. So ask yourself one final question. The next time you feel triggered, will you react like you always have, or will you finally take control? Because in that moment, your higher self is either born or delayed once again. Comfort feels safe, but it is one of the most dangerous traps you can live in. It doesn't look like a problem. In fact, it feels like peace. Familiar routines, familiar people, familiar environments. You wake up, do the same things, think the same thoughts, stay within the same limits. And slowly, without realizing it, you stop growing because comfort doesn't challenge you, it preserves you. Carl Jung understood that real transformation never happens in the familiar. It happens when you step into the unknown, when the ground beneath your identity begins to shake. But most people avoid this at all costs. They stay in relationships that no longer fulfill them because leaving feels uncertain. They stay in routines that limit them because change feels uncomfortable. They stay in environments that suppress them because it feels safe. And over time, comfort becomes a prison. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you truly at peace, or have you just become comfortable in a life that no longer challenges you? Because there's a difference. Peace expands you, comfort traps you, and the more attached you become to comfort, the more you resist growth. You start avoiding risk, avoiding discomfort, avoiding anything that threatens your current identity. But here's the truth: everything you want, power, growth, transformation, exists on the other side of discomfort. And to reach it, something must die: your attachment to people who keep you small, attachment to habits that keep you stagnant, attachment to environments that keep you average, attachment to versions of yourself that feel safe but are no longer aligned with who you're becoming. But let's be honest, letting go is painful because attachment is emotional. It's not logical. You know something is holding you back, but you still hold on. You know a situation isn't right, but you still stay. You know you need to change, but you still hesitate. Why? Because the unknown feels more dangerous than the familiar, even when the familiar is slowly destroying you. This is where most people fail. They choose temporary comfort over long-term growth. But if you want to unlock your higher vibration, you have to make a different choice. You have to walk into discomfort on purpose. That means doing things that feel unnatural, taking risks that scare you, letting go of what once defined you. And yes, you will feel lost at times, because when you detach from comfort, you also detach from certainty. But that uncertainty is where transformation begins, because now you're no longer repeating the same patterns, you're creating new ones. Now you're no longer living by habit, you're living by intention. Now you're no longer controlled by your environment, you're evolving beyond it. Let me ask you something deeper. What are you holding on to right now that you know you've outgrown? Be honest, because whatever that is the very thing standing between you and your next level. And until you let it go, you will stay exactly where you are. Jung believed that growth requires a confrontation with the unknown, with the parts of life that feel uncertain, unstable, even uncomfortable. But that's where your power is hiding, not in what you already know, but in what you're avoiding. So if you truly want to rise, you have to become comfortable with discomfort. You have to detach from what feels safe. You have to trust that letting go is not losing, it's evolving. Because when comfort and attachment die, something far greater is born, freedom, and from that freedom, your higher self finally begins to emerge. So, the real question is, will you keep choosing comfort, or are you ready to step into the life that requires you to grow? Everything you've heard in this journey comes down to one undeniable truth. You cannot evolve by adding more to your life. You evolve by letting go of what no longer belongs to you. Through the lens of Carl Jung, transformation is not about becoming someone new. It's about removing everything that is false, unconscious, and limiting. The death of your false identity, the death of external validation, the death of emotional reactivity, the death of comfort and attachment. These are not losses. They are necessary sacrifices, because every version of you that holds you back is built on fear, conditioning, and illusion. And as long as those versions remain alive, your higher self stays hidden. But when you start the process of letting go, something powerful begins to happen. You stop reacting and start observing. You stop seeking approval and start trusting yourself. You stop clinging and start evolving. You stop pretending and start becoming real. And in that space, you meet the version of yourself that doesn't need validation, doesn't fear discomfort, and doesn't live for others' expectations. This is your higher self, but reaching it is not easy, because every layer you remove reveals something deeper. Every truth you accept challenges your identity. Every attachment you release creates temporary discomfort. And most people stop here. They return to comfort. They return to validation. They return to old patterns. But not you, because now you understand something most people never realize. Growth requires loss. Transformation requires death. And power requires discipline. So here is the final question you must answer honestly. What part of you is still alive that you know needs to die? Because until you face that, nothing will truly change, but the moment you do, you don't just improve your life. You rise above it, and that is the beginning of your higher vibration.